Hello, everybody. Hope you guys can see me pretty good. Hope everybody's having a good day today. It's Tuesday and I'm up. Church Girl is selling my cranberry beans that I've been telling everybody about. Okay. Hope you guys can see me. Selling cranberry beans. Okay. How's everybody doing today? You guys doing all right today? Ooh, Lordy. I'm selling cranberry beans. This is what cranberry beans look like, you guys. Sparking anger and frustration from stranded travelers. The scenes at the airport highlighting the intensity. They're very easy to shell, as you can see. I shelled those Purple Hull peas the other day, and I finally got those in my freezer. Thank goodness for that. Finally got those in my freezer. Last night, I was up kind of late because I had to get that work done, and I still have another whole box of black-eyed peas to go. But I'll get it all done. I will get it all done. I don't mind selling peas and beans. I kind of enjoy it. It's kind of relaxing to me. Kind of relaxing to me. Look at my hair. Church girl got to go get her hair done, you guys. Anyway, just want to thank the Lord for letting me see another day. And I want to show you guys what these cranberry beans look like. Because some of you all said you hadn't heard of cranberry, didn't even know what a cranberry bean was. You hadn't heard of cranberry beans. Anyway, these are cranberry beans. And very easy to open up, see? Very easy to open up. See that? I'm just relaxing, kind of looking at the news and trying to take care of this bad knee of mine. I guess arthritis is kind of getting next to me, you guys, along with the fibro. It's not a good feeling, but I thank the Lord for blessing me to be able to keep pushing and pressing on. I can shell these really fast because they're kind of big. See how big they are? They're not huge, but you know they're nice size, and they're so easy to open up. Got those black-eyed peas, and I kind of hate I got them now. Went down to the freezer and realized I have more black-eyed peas than I thought I had from last season. So I really should have got some more Purple Hull peas, but I didn't. So it's all good. I love black eyes, and I like Purple Hull too. See these beans? I'm trying to show you what they look like. Well, once I get a handful, I'll show you. When I get a handful, I'll show you. But they're very easy to shell. And you would really enjoy these beans because they're so good and they're so tasty. They taste kind of like a cross between a butter bean and a pinto bean. But I really like these the best. Once I start eating cranberry beans, they're my favorite. They are one of my favorites. I love all beans, but these are really between number 1 and 2. Love butter beans. I love pinto beans, but these cranberry beans, they got a taste to them. It's kind of mild taste, but a very, very good taste. See? That's what they look like. Kind of purplish. Remember I told you they're kind of cranberries looking. See that? And you cook them the same way you do all your beans and your peas. Get you some smoked meat. Especially if you have some, any smoked meat will work. Smoked turkey, smoked ham hock, smoked neck bones. Some people use smoked turkey necks. I like the smoked turkey tails now. I usually use the smoked turkey legs and the smoked turkey necks, but I like their flavor, but it didn't have quite enough of that to it. A little fattening to it, so I switched over to the turkey tails, and they work really, really good. Sometimes I mix the turkey tail with a smoked mix my smoked turkey tail with the smoked neck bone, and then sometimes I'll fry up 2 or 3 pieces of bacon. But I really buy what they call it, pork jowl. It's kind of like a streaky lean bacon, and I like to slice it myself. Sometimes I add a couple pieces of that in there. But if I don't use those, I would use my ham bone. If you guys have any ham bone, or you make a ham, save your bone to your ham. That makes the best pot of beans you ever could eat. And sometimes I'll stop by, when I'm out shopping and I think about it, I'll go by Honey Bake. Honey Bake save, when they make sandwiches, they save their ham bone and they'll sell them to you. I get, I think, 2 or 3 nice bones for $5. Then I have them cut them up for me. And they make the best beans. That ham bone, it makes the best beans. So all of those different things you can put in your beans. And I still like to cut up my bell peppers, because you guys know I like my bell peppers. And sometimes I like to do the Trinity, which is the green, the red, and the yellow. I call it the Trinity because it's 3. It's 3, but it's still 1 bell pepper, but it's 3 in 1, 3 different colors. So I call it my Trinity mix, which is the red, the yellow, and the green bell peppers, okay? So sometimes I cut up that, well, all the time I cut up that in it, along with a little, usually I use red onion or white onion over my beans. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. That's just my preference. And if you guys, hey guys, when you cook your peas and your beans, let me tell you something. Go get you some lemon, some onion soup mix, dry mix, because it's nothing but a mix, like a spice mix. And put it over in that pot. And oh my Lord, you can get the beefy onion soup mix or the plain onion soup mix. I buy them both, but the onion soup mix is my favorite. So just want to tell you guys different ways you can cook your beans. You put that onion soup mix in there, you can still have smoked meat, but you won't need quite as much smoked meat, because that Lipton onion soup mix or that beefy onion soup mix have a very, very good flavor to it, and that will pretty much flavor your beans. You know, then you add your pepper and your salt, whatever you want to add to it. But it's very, very good. So that's another way you can cook your beans, okay? Then I yet have another way to tell you how I do my beans. I like to cook things different ways. I don't always cook them the same way. Another way I like to cook my beans, and I have a good friend at church, Dr. John. He loved my beans. My brother, Dr. John, loved my beans. Dr. John Harris loves Sister Cumming beans. So, and I like to share too. Love to share. Anyway, another way I cook my beans is I cook my beans, then I take me some take me some ground turkey, because I like turkey. You can use ground beef if you want to, or ground turkey. And I cook my ground turkey up in a different frying skillet. I don't put it in a raw. I fry my ground turkey down with the seasoning in my ground turkey. I cut up onions and bell peppers in my ground turkey. I put a little garlic powder in there, a little Tony's, Cajun seasoning in it. You know, I just cook my ground turkey down and I season it to taste. And then I put it over in my beans. Once my beans cook almost probably about, I would say about 75% done, then I would put my meat over in those beans. And I still may have 1 piece of smoked meat in there, just 1 piece, because when I add my ground turkey, I don't need a whole lot of more smoked meat with it. But sometimes I will add 1 piece of smoked meat just to cook with the beans, just 1 small piece, not a lot, because I'm going to add that ground turkey to it. And I put that ground turkey over in my beans with the seasoning all cooked through it, and turn it down and let it simmer about 30 more minutes, because I want my beans almost done, especially when I'm using these cranberry beans. They don't take about 30 minutes to cook because they're real fresh. And baby, cut me some onion over in there with that ground turkey. Put it in my beans, just let it cook down, you know, just let it simmer. And it kind of have a little sauce to it, because I'm going to have that onion soup mix mixed in with my beans. or the ground turkey. You can put it either one. And Lord have mercy. I make some cornbread, and you can come and have yourself a good old country eating time. So you see, there are different ways you can cook your food. Just just take your time and figure out which way you want to. When you're preparing your meal, just figure out which way you want to go before you start preparing it. So you kind of already know what you want to do when you go in the kitchen, especially when you're dealing with peas and beans, because there are different ways you can cook your beans and your peas. I haven't tried the ground meat in my peas, but what I have done, I mix my peas with butter beans or with my cranberry beans, and then I cut up bacon over in it, and I cut up some chopped. I like okra, so I have peas, beans, and okra mixed together. That's another good way. When I fry up me some bacon, ooh Lord, that's another good way to eat your peas. So there are more than one way you can cook them. You just got to put them in the pot with some smoked meat and call it a day. Try different things. Try different ways. Try different ways when you're cooking your beans, okay? And your peas. Take a little time and plan your meal out, and I think you'll enjoy it much better. So I've done that. I actually got that from my mother and my sister. She used to cook peas, butter beans, and okra mixed together, and then you can see her bacon chopped up in it. Oh wow, that's some very, very good eating. And season it to taste. Very good. So, you don't have to eat, like I said, the same way, and your food do not have to be bland. You can eat healthy, and yet your food do not have to be bland. If you season it well, and don't over season it. Now you guys know I'm here I go. I always say the nurse have to come out sooner or later in me. Always watch that salt intake with that MSG in it. But I showed you guys some of the salt that I use, and as time go by, I'll be showing you some different spices, that doesn't have salt in it, and it's still very, very tasty and very flavorful. There's a way you can season your food and make it taste really good, and you don't have to have a whole lot of salt in it. Because there are all kind of seasons out there that's low sodium or no sodium, and it can season your food really well. But when and if you do use salt, because most of us do use salt, get yourself some of that Himalayan pink salt, or get you some sea salt, and season your food lightly. And another tip I would like to leave with you: when you're using salt, make sure if you're using 3 or 4 different types of spices, make sure all your spices don't have salt in it. Make sure only one really should have the salt in it. And the rest of your seasoning shouldn't have a whole lot of salt in it. If you're not careful when you're seasoning your food, and you have 3 or 4 different spices, or 4 or 5 or 6 different seasoning, and all those seasoning have salt in it, if you're not careful, your food gonna be very salty, because everything you're putting over in that food have salt in it. So I make a conscious effort to, when I go shopping for my spices, I make sure I buy me some lemon seasoning, salt free. And there are other seasonings you can purchase salt free or low in sodium, low in salt. But be very mindful and kind of watchful when you're seasoning your food. I watch a lot of cooking channels, so sometimes I just have to sit back and just laugh. I always try to be positive, because everybody cook different. But if I was teaching them or showing them, I would tell them to make sure that when they season that food, make sure all your seasoning don't have a lot of salt in it. You don't need really one salt, but you can have many other spices that you like, depending on what you're cooking. All blends don't work well together. So watch what you put in your food, because all seasoning don't work well together, depending on what you're cooking. But I always like to drive home that tip, because a lot of us, especially African Americans, we have high blood pressure, so we have to watch it when it comes to that sodium. And cholesterol too, when it comes to the fat, you also have to be careful with that. And I tell people, if you're going to use fat, and we do cook with fat, especially African American, we cook with a lot of oil and grease and fatty stuff like that, fat meat and stuff. But you got to be careful using that oil, that saturated, polysaturated fat. You have to be, be lightly with that. Learn how to use different oils. I like to use olive oil, and another good, you got several good oils out there. Olive oil is one of my favorite. Also, I also like to use peanut oil and avocado oils. Don't be afraid to bring to lunch out and try some different oils. You can fry just as good with avocado oil and peanut oil. Fries up just as good as corn oil and vegetable oil. Those are two of the, if I had to choose, those would be the two worst ones. I do buy canola oil. If I buy oil, I keep oil here, but I use it very lightly and very sparingly, only on certain types of food. And when I do use it, I try to use it very little, and then sometimes I still mix it in with my olive oil or some avocado oil. You can mix in or some grapeseed oil. So there are different types of oil you can use that's much more healthy than corn oil and vegetable oil. And canola oil. Those are the worst ones. But out of those three, the corn oil, vegetable oil, and canola oil, if you're going to choose from those three, then canola, I would say that would be the better one. It's not super great, but it's the better out of the vegetable and the other oil I just called corn oil. No, they're all pretty much the same, but the canola oil, if I had to choose from those three. But get you some olive oil. Everybody's have olive oil in their house, from blessed oil to cooking oil. Olive oil. A lot of good properties in that olive oil. If you read your Bible and you research olive oil through the Bible, you will find out that olive oil was a very good oil that they even used in Jesus' time, back in the biblical time, put it that way. Olive was a very good oil that they used even back in the Bible days. So you see, can't go wrong using that olive oil. And then in choosing your olive oil, one night I'm going to sit down and show you guys the difference between these oils. Wow, take a look at this. Let me just change my sentence for a minute. Remember I told you the cranberry beans? See how purple that is? Cranberry-ish. That's what cranberry beans look like. But some of them is kind of speckly. They're not quite this dark. But some of your cranberry beans would be kind of just like that raspberry, cranberry color. And they cook up really, really good. And then some of them, most of them actually, would come out cranberries, but they kind of got a little line, streaks of cranberry through them, like that. And then sometime it'll be all the way cranberry, and then sometime it'll be just like that. Have a light color cranberry to it, see? And then other times you'll open up some and they'll be all the way cranberry color. Those the same thing. Some just all the way cranberry, and others have little cranberry streaks in it. But they are very, very, very good. I think I'm gonna hold this purple one on the side. I don't. Most of them is like this. But they are very, very, very. Don't take my word for it. Try it. Cook you up some. Oh yeah, try you some. And make you some good old hot water cornbread or some buttermilk cornbread. Or most of you all that don't cook homemade cornbread like I do, you guys go out there and grab that box of Jiffy. Oh wow. Jiffy is good. I've used Jiffy a lot, but we don't eat much Jiffy. Now my husband tried not to eat it at all because it's so sweet. So I try to cook the buttermilk cornbread or just plain cornbread using plain milk, or I make hot water cornbread. If you haven't tried any of those homemade cornbreads, try you some. Take your time and make you some. What I'll do, I'm gonna make some homemade cornbread and show you guys my recipe. I've tried different ways to make cornbread several times. Came out pretty good, but sometimes I wasn't pleased, with the consistency of my cornbread. I just kept trying different variations with my recipe, dealing with the type of oil I use, or butter I use, or eggs, or milk. And finally, I got the consistency that I wanted, and the cornmeal that I wanted. Also, you can buy a certain type of cornmeal, and it'll make a difference in your cornbread. if you're buying yellow cornmeal and it's very, very coarse, the cornbread, at least my experience was, it came out pretty good. You could eat it, but it was kind of coarse and kind of corny, gritty like. When I cut my cornbread, I don't like to have that grainy texture. I like my cornbread to still have a kind of semi-smooth texture to it. You know, I don't want it like a cake, but I don't want it to be too harsh and too grainy. But that was the consistency of the type of cornmeal I bought. And I was using, I'm trying to think of the name. I know you guys see the cornmeal, those of you who live in California, come in the box. I forgot the name of it. You get white or you can get yellow. And the yellow is kind of grainy. It's good for frying fish and stuff like that. But I wasn't pleased with the way my cornbread came out. I could work with it, but it's best to use buttermilk if you're going to use the coarser cornmeal. Now, there are some cornmeals that's very, very smooth, you know, very, very soft. And I ran across the brand, and I don't have it. Well, I'm sitting down now, I can't show you, but when I do my cornbread, I'll show you. I bought type of cornmeal. I don't know if it's called Martha White or something white. It's in my pantry, but I'll show you. That cornmeal is white, and it's very, very soft. It's not gritty. It's not grainy. And when I use that to make my buttermilk cornbread, I got an A+ from my hubby. He loved it. He liked that recipe. So I told him that's the recipe that I'll stick with, you know, until I make his hot water cornbread. So once you find a good cornmeal that works for you, then that's what you use. If you like the yellow cornmeal, then by all means, use it. But I would suggest, if you're going to just use that yellow cornmeal in the box, for those that buy here in California, I don't know why I can't call it name. I don't want to call it wrong name, but it come in a box. I think you know what I'm talking about. Red or white. If you're going to, yellow or white. If you're going to use that, you can mix your cornmeal. Use a cup of yellow and a cup of white. You know, if you don't mind buying two types of cornmeal. I keep both types in my house. Some things I like to put white cornmeal, and some things I like to use yellow. But if I'm making cornbread out of that, and that's all I have, then I'll mix those two together. That come in that box. I don't forget the brand name, but I'll show it to you. However, don't be afraid to try different things, you know. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it no more. But at least you know you didn't try it. You know, and I cook a lot of times by trying different experiments. Now, I'm not the type of person to go out to a restaurant. I'm not big on restaurants at all now, unless it's, some of those higher-end restaurants, really nice restaurants. Some of the better hotels, I don't mind. I like eating there at those. But some of just the regular restaurants, I don't particularly care for. I'm not going to call any names because I don't want to. Only name out, well, I won't even call that name. I won't even call that name because it's one of my husband's favorite restaurants. And it starts with a D. I'll leave it at that. But I don't particularly care for those little. I eat, I do eat at some of them when I go with Ken, but I prefer to eat at home any day. Because most times I go out to these restaurants, I waste my money. I buy the food, and I don't eat it. Now, I do like, one restaurant I really do like, and that is, I keep thinking about Outback, but it's not Outback because I don't go there. Matter of fact, I don't think they have one in my area. It's, can't think of the one I went to my birthday. I like to go there because I like that fish, and I like sweet potato. You know the one that have the peanuts all over the floor? People eat the peanuts and throw the hulls on the floor. Can't think of it. I don't know why I can't think of that restaurant. But anyway, I don't mind going there sometime. It's just a regular restaurant, but I don't mind every now and then. If I just have to go out to eat, and I'm in the area, then I go there. They don't even open up until the evening, in the evening, for dinner. But some of the higher end restaurants, I don't mind going, but I'm just not big on restaurants at all. Most times I'm not pleased. I guess I'm too picky. Can't say I'm a little bit picky. So by me being a little picky, it's hard to please me pretty much. And I don't like to complain at these restaurants because folks take your food to the back, you upset them, ain't no telling what they put in that food. So my trust level is not real high in a lot of these low-end restaurants, especially. Okay. But I don't put all restaurants down. There are some great restaurants out there, especially some of those that's not It's called chain restaurant. Those chain, a lot of the same type restaurants, fast foods. Mm-mm. If I'm just gonna go out to eat, sometime Ken and I will try a nice little restaurant privately owned with those top chefs. You can find some really good food at those. Sometimes they could be a little pricey, but it's good food. So I like to eat good, so I don't mind paying whatever it is I want to buy, because I like good food. But like I said, if I can eat at home, I'd rather eat at home. Take the time to cook. And by me, I don't eat a whole lot, so if I don't feel like cooking, my husband don't have no problem with going to the restaurant, honey. He would go to him a restaurant in a quick minute. And he believe in trying different foods. That's what I was going to tell you. I'm not real big on trying a lot of different stuff. Sometimes, I get a little skimmish, so I don't like to try a lot of stuff. But my husband, he'll try. He believe in trying tasting different things. And I guess I'm kind of old-fashioned with that. I'll probably eat the same thing pretty much over and over and over. If I know it's good, I'll end up ordering the same thing most of the time. But I'm not too good on experimenting out. If I'm going to experiment, let me experiment in my own house with my own food. Wow. Sometimes I'll experiment with his food, I just don't want to waste the money, and then probably don't like it and probably won't eat it. So I just waste a lot of money on going out. I waste a lot of money. So I just prefer stay home. And sometimes I go out, with him, and I just have me a bowl of soup, because I can pretty much eat, some kind of nice bean soup or chicken noodle soup if it's not too watery. See, there I go. I'm kind of picky. I like my chicken noodle soup to kind of have a nice thick broth to it. I don't like that watered down soup. So sometimes I have a bowl of soup, or maybe something to drink if I take my own drink. Most time I take my own drink, you guys. I'm just that picky. Oh, Lord. And my own coffee. I have to take my own Organo Gold coffee. I went with Ken not long ago. I went to the doctor, and then we left the doctor, and I was kind of hungry that day. I didn't eat any breakfast. So I was hungry, right? So I said, honey, let's go to IHOP. I hadn't been to IHOP in, oh my Lord. Can't tell you when last time, how many years it's been. For some reason I said IHOP. I guess because I don't know why I said I might have saw the sign and decided to go there. And I was a little hungry, but I didn't know what I was going to eat. But I knew I needed to put something on my stomach. So I ordered, I don't care for eggs much, but I ordered an omelet. I can eat a little egg as long as it have spinach, spinach in it and some cheese or something on it. I don't like just a plain egg. And I already knew I wasn't going to eat but a bite or two. But I ordered some coffee. I really wanted some coffee, and I forgot my own Organo Gold coffee. I ordered the coffee, and the young lady, I told her, I said, I don't know if I'm going to like your coffee or not. And she said, if you don't like it, then that's okay. You don't have to pay for it. And I don't like that either. If I order something, I like to pay the people for, they took the time out to make it for me, or to cook it for me. And I'm not trying to get over on nobody. So I believe in paying whether I like it or not. And if they just insist, that's okay. But I always let them know I don't mind paying. I may not like it, but I did order it. So, I think it's only fair, to do what's right. So she brought me the coffee, and she brought the omelet. Omelet was, we won't talk about the omelet. I think I ate a little bit. I ate a couple of bites of it because I had to put some on my stomach. And I gave some to hubby, but 90% of it was left on the plate. I just leave it at that. Got that coffee, and got me some equal. Most time I don't put nothing in my coffee at home, but a little. I do like vanilla cream. Coffee made vanilla cream. A mocha. My phone ringing. And I'm not gonna take that. It's amazing, boy. People always calling, trying to give you money, and want you to give you this loan, give you that loan. Now, if I was trying to get a loan and needed some money, I probably couldn't get nobody to give me no loan. I get all these roller calls every day. Do any of you guys calls like that? Get on my last nerve. But I learned not to answer. I just learned not to answer. So back to this coffee, right? She brought the coffee out. And I told Ken, I said, I'm going to go ahead and order the coffee because that's really all I wanted was some coffee. Really, I kind of wanted my coffee that day. I hadn't had it. Because I had to fast that morning. That's what it was, Had to get some blood work, so I had to fast. I couldn't eat. So I wanted my coffee. Went in IHOP and ordered that coffee. It was the worst. It almost made me sick. And so I went ahead and put some Splendor or some Equal or something in it. And I asked for a little cream. Trying to spruce it up. Trying to make it taste like something. I taste that coffee. I took 2 or 3 small tastes. I wanted some coffee so bad that day. That coffee almost made me sick at that table. So I said, honey, I can't drink this. I can't drink it. I just can't drink it. Wasn't so much that the coffee was bad. I think what it was, I'm just used to a certain taste. So I think that coffee was probably okay. It was okay. But I'm used to, I was looking for a certain distinct taste. And my Organo Gold have a certain distinct taste. And the minute I taste that coffee, it wasn't nowhere even close. So I didn't care for it. And I told the young lady to thank her for making it, and I just didn't care for it. But it's okay for them because people used to drinking it, So my taste bud was just different because I'm just used to a different type of coffee. That Organo Gold, if you guys haven't tried Organo Gold, order you some. Go on Amazon and order you some. It'll be a little pricey if you think $35 a box. I think so. It's a little pricey, but I'm sure you can get it a little cheaper on I think if you go on Amazon. But try some Organo Gold if you like coffee, because they have what they call germaderm in it, and they have some health properties to it. If I'm gonna drink it, I'll be trying to figure out research to see what's in it that I can benefit from. So I usually put my coffee in my pack, in my purse, and my own little mason glass, my own straw. Ooh, Lord, I guess I'm just, help me, Jesus. But however, we all have our little pet peeves, so that's one of mine. Kind of careful when it comes to my stomach. I'm so sensitive and I get sick real quick over, my stomach. I get upset stomach real easy. So food is very important, and eating healthy is very important. And I stress eating fresh as much as you possibly can. If you have kids, especially children, if you train your children up eating fresh veggies and fresh food, they'll like it, but if you start giving it to them when they're 10, 11, and 12, they probably won't like it. But if you train them up as a baby, eating fresh without all that salt and oils and high greasy foods and stuff like high fatty foods, if you train that child up from a baby, eating without a lot of salt, they'll grow up like that. But we have to start when they're babies. We can't wait till they get big and, big size and then try to train them. It'll be a little more difficult. But most of our problem is we give our children too much fatty foods and too much salty food as babies. Growing them up, instead of getting some carrots, cut them up real small and fresh. Don't put no lot of salt and a lot of oil on it. Give it to them pureed and give it to them fresh. Add a little applesauce or something to it. Make it taste good. You want it to taste good, but you don't want it over salty and overly sweet. But those are little things we have to be mindful of. I'm just sharing with you guys while I share my peas. I'm going to get off of here. I'm not going to talk long today. I just want to come on and show you what cranberry beans was. The Church Girl is shelling cranberry beans. I'm going to wash them and put them in my freezer. I should get I'm hoping I get at least 6 or 7 bags. I'm hoping. I don't know if I will, but I'm hoping. Normally I get about 7 bags. No, quart size. Because it's just Ken and I, so I just cook one quart bag at a time. So I bought a whole box. I think I got 22 pounds. Cranberry beans. The Church Girl is shelling cranberry beans. And I enjoy it too. I really enjoy it. See, I remember I told you what they look like? Kind of cranberry-ish. They could be dark cranberry or light cranberry, or they could just simply be, have little cranberry color in them. Look like a speck of butter bean, but they are really cranberry beans. They could be like that. They could be a little lighter, like this. Or, put these to the side. Or they could be really, 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 really cranberry, like that. But cook them just the way you cook all your beans in whatever kind of smoked meat you like. And it doesn't take them long to cook. I would say 35 minutes at the most. Let them come to a nice boil. And then after they come to a nice boil, turn your pot down low and just let them take their time and cook. And it shouldn't take them long, as I said, because they, especially if you use the fresh one. Now, you can't buy dry cranberry beans. Those of you that, you know, doesn't have an opportunity to get fresh cranberry beans, go to your farmer's market and get some dry cranberry beans. I bought some dry ones one time, and they was absolutely delicious. Only thing different was it took me a little longer to cook them because they was dry. So I think I cooked them for maybe 45, maybe an hour. But if the dry ones, you let them soak in cold water for about 30 minutes, and they won't even take an hour to cook. For some reason, these beans, even being dry, even when they're dry, they're not really that hard. They still seem like they have a nice texture to it. They feel hard, but they're not really, really, really like concrete hard. They're not that hard. So it still doesn't take them very, very long to cook. But they are very, very delicious. And I really want you guys to try cranberry beans, because I know most people that ate pinto beans and butter beans and things like that, green beans and green peas. Try these cranberry beans. You don't know what they are, go to the store and ask the person that worked there. They'll tell you what they are. I've showed you what they look like anyway. If you go to farmer's market anywhere, this is what they look like. Something like that. But not something like that. That is what they look like. Cranberry beans. Even the outside shell is cranberries. See that cranberries color? And they're so easy to open. They open so fast because, see, look. See how fast that opens? Shelling peas is take a little more longer, but shelling beans, especially cranberry beans, they just come right open really, really fast. Doesn't take me, I can shell a whole box in just probably about, if I'm taking my time, I could probably about 2 hours, but normally I can shell them quicker than that, because if I'm focused on just shelling beans, I can go really fast, but most time I take my time because I like to relax. I like to relax when I'm shelling my beans and peas. So that being said, everyone, ChurchGirl Cummings is shelling cranberry beans today. I'm going to wash them, put them in my freezer bag, and place them in the freezer. So when the winter months come, the hubby and I will be eating fresh cranberry beans along with all my other fresh veggies that I put away. See how simple that is? See that? So I try to encourage you all to try some fresh vegetables. That's why I keep reiterating it over and over and over. Because when you start getting older, you know, you have to start thinking more about your health. Even young people too, I would really stress to try to eat fresh as possible. Whatever is in season that you can get your hands on fresh, take a little time out to go to the farmers markets. They have them all in different places, especially in the summer months. Even in the fall months too, you can find farmers markets. And if not, in the supermarket, go over to the fresh vegetables and see what they have that's in season. And try some beans and stuff. It's very, very, very good for you. Put your little smoked meat in there. Just watch your saturated fats and your high MSG salts. That being said, ladies and gents, I'm going to get off of here because I didn't want to talk too long today. God bless each of you. I love each of you. Please chime in. Go over to Cooking with ChurchGirl Cummings, to my YouTube page. And, you know, I haven't been doing it very long, but I'm glad I started it because it gives me something to do and make me feel good. I love to cook, especially on days, you know, when I'm feeling real good. Days that I'm not feeling my best, sometimes I still go in the kitchen because it kind of pick my spirit up a little bit. I try not to overdo it. If I need to stop and rest, then I'll stop and rest. Take it easy on my legs. So, love you all. Please go over and subscribe to my channel, my YouTube channel. Subscribe, share, and like. I would appreciate it so very, very much. Love you all, and I like to connect and encourage everyone. And this is Cooking with the Church Girl. And if any of you all request prayer, just stick down in the comment to let me know if you have a special request. You don't have to go into your request. Just let me know that you want me to pray for something special for you. And I'll put your name on my prayer list. And during my prayer time and my morning meditation and prayer time, make sure I call your name out before the Lord, because He is a prayer answering God. The Lord answers prayer. So this is Cooking with the Church Girl. I don't only cook, I do pray and seek the Lord. So anything I can do to be of assistance to anyone, just send your comment or go over to my Facebook page and send me a private message. It'll be between you and the Lord and I. And I'll go to the throne for you. Thank you, Jesus. God is so good. He's a wonderful God. He's so good to me. And I believe in the power of prayer. And there is nothing too hard for God. Okay? With that, I'm going to be said. Keep the faith. Eat healthy. You know that term when they say an apple a day, keep the doctor away? I don't really advocate that. That's just a saying that sounds good. But I know what? An apple a day will help your digestive system. I know that. It is healthy, so. Eat your fresh fruits and vegetables. Get you some exercise. Try to get at least 6 hours of sleep at night. At least. I'm saying that I don't get that much. I'm home, but I don't sleep that long. But the rule of thumb is at least 6 hours. And that's my preference, at least 6 hours. And you wake up feeling much, much better. So try to get your rest, as much rest as possible. I know a whole lot of people working and be busy. So get your sleep. Try to eat something for breakfast, because to me that's one of the most important meals. And make sure your breakfast ain't always donuts and coffee. That's not the healthiest thing. It'll get you going. It'll crank you up, all that sugar. But try to eat something, a little bit more healthy for you for breakfast. And there are health bars and stuff like that if you just on the go and you don't have time to make, yourself some oatmeal or eat some. I don't advocate cereal unless it's cereal that's not high in sugar. A lot of cereal have a lot of sugar. If you're going to eat you some cereal, get you some Quaker Oats or something like that that's not high in sugar. Then cut up you some fresh, something like strawberries in season, or cut up you some bananas over your cereal. Something like that. Throw you some blueberries in your cereal. Pure something that's sweet, that's natural, instead of eating so much high sugary cereal. Okay? That being said, this time I'm going for real. I love you all. Church Girl is selling cranberry beans, and pretty soon I'm going to do a video cooking these cranberry beans, as well as I'll do a video cooking my peas, my purple hull peas and my black eyed peas. But in the meantime, I'm going to get these taken care of and in the freezer. God bless you all. With that, have a Jesus day. And this is Cooking with the Church Girl Cummings. Please go over and subscribe to my channel. Subscribe, share, and like. And if you want to leave a comment, I always said I welcome all comments, all wholesome comments, positive comments. Let's try to stay away from the negative comments, okay? Love you all with the love of the Lord. Have a Jesus day from the Church Girl. Bye.